Welcome back to Entertainment Talk. Today I'm here to do another video game review. This is going to be my spoiler-free review for Marvel's Iron Man VR, developed by Camouflage, published by Sony, and directed by Ryan Payton in the Unity engine, exclusive to PlayStation 4. So yeah, I'm going to do a spoiler-free review here. Go to my skip, don't skip rating, as you've already possibly seen from the title. I'm going to give this a don't skip rating. I'm really surprised by this game. I went into this game and obviously knew it wasn't going to be an on-rails thing. I tried the demo before. I think I remember talking about the demo experience on one of our Gaming Talk episodes, which you can go listen to, by the way, our weekly video games podcast, Random Gaming Talk. But yeah, this could have been easily a, on-rails, just kind of mindless shooter where Iron Man's just shooting some drones, you're picking up a high score, and you kind of just move on. That could have been what this game was. I'm really genuinely surprised at the amount of effort put into the story here. Now, I'm not going to go into the story and spoilers and stuff. I'm going to say who's in this game. You've got Ghost. She's your main villain in the game. If you want to remember who that character is, for those of you that have seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, she is the main villain in that. She's played by the same actress who was the lead in Killjoys as well. Not sure the actress's name, but she is not the voice actress in this game. She's obviously done that stuff, but yeah, she's the main villain in this game, and she's quite cool. She's really quite cool. You've got Pepper Potts, who shows up in this game, obviously Tony's, wife and assistant and whatever, depending on, your different comic runs and whatever. She's in this game as well. You're obviously playing as Iron Man, Tony Stark. You both play as Tony Stark and as Iron Man in different parts of this game. You've got Gunslinger, who I can't tell you who that is because that will go into spoilers, but he's in the game. You've got, I don't recall her being in any MCU films, but Friday is in this game, as she is your female AI assistant. And then you've got Gunslinger, who's the male AI assistant as well. So she's really cool. Gunslinger's quite a cool character. I don't recall seeing them, either of those two, Gunslinger or Friday, in any comic runs or any MCU stuff or anything like that. Those, to me at least, are two new characters. They've probably been in some comics before and stuff, but I'm just not aware of them from the past. I do know who Ghost is, obviously, and I do know who Pepper Potts is as well, played by, is it Gwyneth Paltrow, I think is her name, in the MCU, who, has the rescue armor at a certain point in the MCU and stuff, and that sort of thing. So yeah, I've spoken about one of the positives, which is the story here, and again, like I said, this could have been just an on-rail shooter. It could have not even had a story. You didn't even have to put Pepper Potts in this game, because you walk around and you see her and you speak to her. There's surprisingly, like, not really on the level of like The Witcher, but you do get dialogue options. I don't think they really dictate the story. They just determine in what way Tony says a particular thing. Both of them, I think, come out with the same outcome. I don't think there's like different story paths or whatever, but you can choose a different way for him to say certain things, which is kind of cool. Again, they didn't have to do that, but they put that in there. There's an entire section in this game where there's like what I can only describe as a kitchen and a gym, because on the same little platform room kind of thing, you've got like a boxing thing, you've got some weights that you can lift up, you've got a basketball mini game, you've got a coffee maker that you can use, you've got a fridge that you can open, and you can eat apples and sandwiches. There is soda cans in there. I don't know how you open them though. I did try lots of different methods, different buttons, using two hands and stuff. If you do pick it up with one hand and then you try to interact with the other hand, it swaps over. But yeah, that's in the game as well. You've also got some really cool stuff with when you load into a level that starts off with Iron Man, like the animation of like booting up the helmet and stuff, because you see like Tony breathing and stuff, and then all the tech stuff kind of booting up, and then the helmet thing kind of comes down and stuff, and then you get the glow up from the eyes and things. That's really cool. And then yeah, it glows up from the eyes, and then you can it expands itself so you can see your view in front of you. So really good stuff. I'm just genuinely surprised by this game. And one of the most disappointing things is no one's talking about this game at all. It's all, at the moment, Avengers, it's Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us, and people are still playing those, and people are playing Call of Duty and whatever. No one's talking about this game, and it's just a real shame that, again, if I remember the schedule right, June 19th, Last of Us Part 2, July 2nd or 3rd, Iron Man VR, Ghost of Tsushima, July 17th. Iron Man just unfortunately got sandwiched in between these two big games, and it's just a real shame. You think about... I just wish more people were talking about this because it's just surprisingly good. So it's a bit of a shame, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed the game. I'm probably going to give this a 9. I'm really surprised by most of the stuff in this game. Actually, like I said, the story is really surprisingly good. Essentially, what you've got right is Ghost is annoyed at, well, very annoyed at Tony for his past actions, like the man he used to be in things, and the game kind of delves into that, and Tony talks about that, and there's actually some loading screens as well, where it's, you're looking at like a black room kind of thing, and Tony's talking about like, oh, this from my past and that from my past and whatever, and it feeding into kind of what's going on in the story and stuff, and it's just really surprising. I think it's really good.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Donnie, and I host the Adulting with Donnie podcast. And this is not the show to listen to if you're trying to be a better adult. I started this podcast as a way to offload some thoughts that I have throughout the week. My topics vary widely every week. Movies I've seen, guns and gun control, sex, people that are stupid, why I don't care about celebrity opinions, TV shows, snowmobiling. The list goes on and on. I'm always taking topic suggestions from fans of the show too. So join me each week on Adulting with Donnie as I pour some bourbon and allow you to see the inner workings of the mind of a madman. Live free and rant hard.
I'm Christy.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are Killer Fun. We explore the intersection of crime and entertainment every other week.
For as long as people have been communicating, they have been talking about who did what to whom, and is that socially acceptable?
Because the boundaries of society,
crime,
and entertainment have always gone hand in hand.
The more salacious,
or weird,
the better. From books and movies
to television shows and games,
we look at how life and art imitate and inform one another.
And we can't get together and not laugh. So let's face it, there's going to be laughing.
Killer Fun is available anywhere you listen to podcasts, so join us.
Today's sponsor is Kualu. If you'd like to get started with a domain name and a website today, just click on the link in the show notes and that will take you over to Kualu to get started. They also have a live support chat system that you can use, which is in the bottom right hand corner. So get started with a new website and domain name today with Kualu. Hey everybody, if you would like to get the ad-free versions of all of our podcasts and support Entertainment Talk along the way, all you need to do is head over to patreon.com/entertainment talk. Sign up either as a creator or as a Patreon. There's no difference there. That's just the option for either becoming a creator now or just staying as a patron for the moment. And then all you need to do is support us at the $1 level tier. That will get you access to all of the ad-free podcasts that we've done in the past, and get you access to all the ad-free podcasts in that month as well. So it's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also become a patron at the $3 level tier. That gets you access to ad-free podcasts and allows you to redeem a review of a TV show or a film of entirely your choice. That's one per month for either a TV show or a film review, which is at the $3 level tier. As always, thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. Yeah, you've got that going on as well. So yeah, Ghost is really annoyed at Tony's past and like the people he screwed over and the man he used to be, and Tony's trying to sort of convince her about like, okay, I'm sorry about the past, I've tried to change and all this and that, and Friday and Pepper Potts and Gunslinger are kind of trying to help you through the situation, like track her down and things like that. One of the really cool things about how these two characters work, combined, not together but combined, is Ghost is a hacker. And you're obviously dealing with a lot of tech stuff, mainly. Your suit is completely tech as well. Was completely made from tech and stuff. And there's some points where Ghost will interrupt you. She will block some of your weapons or your ability to fly in certain situations. Not to the point of inconvenience, but to the point of a challenge as well. And sometimes it will be in like a cutscene, so it doesn't really matter too much. That's really, really good and really well done. The flying is, so to move on to my biggest negative, my biggest negative for the game is the flying can be a little bit uncontrollable and a little bit hectic. I found it very difficult at certain points to fly downwards. Now what you basically have to do, you don't control his feet thrusters, you control his hands. You basically shoot from the hands and you fly from the hands as well, because you've got the back buttons, which are to fly around and that, and then you've got the front buttons on the Move controller, which is to shoot, and then the other buttons do other things as well. And obviously you're aiming where you want to fly and shoot with moving the Move controllers on the PSVR. I don't think you can. No, you can't play this with a PS4 controller. You do have to have a Move controller. I know that if you want to fly downwards, you basically put your hands up in the air and you sort of push yourself downwards so that the thrusters are pointing in the air, pushing you downwards. It just didn't feel as controllable as to when I was, lifting off for the first time or flying forwards or whatever. So I just found flying downwards sometimes a little bit of a challenge. There'll be some times in the game as well where you have to hold something with one hand and fly with the other hand, and you just don't get the same amount of power from the thrusters. In fact, I found that when I was doing that because you can do like a boost kind of thing, which you will use a lot in this game, like a boost when you're flying around and stuff. So it basically helps you. It helps you to dodge things. It helps you to obviously fly faster towards a particular objective or towards an enemy or whatever the case may be. There'll just be certain times where I think, I want to go a little bit faster. I'll boost, then I'll try to sort of slow down by like pushing the thrusters the other way. And it never quite worked properly. So there was a few issues with the flying, but overall it wasn't like game breaking, So that's my biggest criticism with the game. The shooting is quite good. It's really quite good in this game. You get basically, how can I describe this? You get the blasters from your hands, and then you get like these things that go on your arms. So you either get like heat-seeking missiles, or you get like a machine gun, or you get like a gravity grenade, which is some of the stuff that I had. So you get those sorts of things as well. It's pretty good because you can kind of use one weapon until it's all done, switch over to your other thing. So you can either plan to like, okay, I'm going to shoot this bunch of enemies with heat-seeking missiles, and then go over to the right and maybe blast these enemies with something else, and then maybe you've got your machine gun on your other arm, and then you can kind of get that out and shoot that as well. You also do unlock a unibeam, which is like the blast from his chest sort of thing. That's sort of his ultimate, if you will, and you hold two buttons down at the same time and you use that. That's mainly used for things like boss fights and like really, really big enemies and some other stuff like that as well. The other thing you can use, which I didn't really use at all, is you can do like what I can only describe as like a thrust punch sort of thing. And you hold, I think I used it with, I'm right-handed, so I naturally went to punch with the right hand. You sort of pull your hand back, you hold square, it will sort of like boost up the punch thing or whatever. It will show you when it's ready, and then you sort of thrust that forward and let go of square at the same time. Don't let go of square too early though, otherwise it will cancel it. I just didn't find myself using it that much. I found myself trying to get a little bit of a distance from the enemy, using the boosters and things like that, and then just shooting them with rockets or with blasters or whatever. I never really like got in close and started punching things or whatever, so that was just a mechanic I never used. I don't think it was bad. I don't think it was necessarily great. I don't know. I just never really used it. So, but overall, to kind of conclude this review slightly, I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I think they do some really, really surprisingly good stuff in here. This game just exceeded my expectations because I didn't think it was going to be. I thought it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as what it turned out to be. The flying could have used a little bit of work. Yeah, that could have used a slight bit of work. The shooting's pretty good. Pretty much my biggest problem with the game is the flying, and that sort of detracts from certain things. There's just certain times where, like I said, you'll be holding things with one hand and flying with the other, or you'll be flying through a particular area, like a cave or something, and you'll have to weave up and down, and it's kind of a little bit difficult to do that. Some people as well who are more sensitive to Motion sickness might be a little bit affected by that. I couldn't really tell you how you'd be affected by it because I'm not you, obviously. But yeah, my sensitivity is thankfully quite good in terms of that sort of thing. So I never really got like sick or dizzy, or there's a few times where I can't remember what it's called. You know when you're falling a little bit and you get that feeling in your chest? For some reason I can't remember what that's called. But I felt that a little bit sometimes because you do drop down sometimes as well. But again, you've got your thrusters, you can kind of stop yourself as well. So overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. The thing that I like as well, there's a kind of a hint to a sequel at the end. I'm not going to say what it is or what it involves or whatever. It's kind of a hint towards a sequel in here. I'd really like to see where they go with what they kind of set up, and I would also like to see if, I'm not saying about bringing in every MCU character, but maybe get like Thor to come along with Iron Man, or get Captain America or Spider-Man, or just like one other kind of Avenger to sort of fight with you in certain scenes, not throughout the entire game, but for some scenes. I think that would be kind of cool. Just put like one extra Marvel character in there. I think that could be quite cool. So plus they can have like their own villain to fight or something, and then maybe you fight them as well. I don't know. I haven't seen any sales information on this game, so I don't know how well it's sold. Critically, it's done all right. I've seen some mixed kind of reviews and stuff on it, so I hope it did well enough to get a sequel. I don't think it's going to get one, but we shall see what happens, I suppose, in the future. So that's pretty much that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on Iron Man VR. If you have or haven't played it, let me know what you think about it. Do you know that this game's even out? Because some people might not even know that it's out. It is available to download on PSN, and you can get it from retail as well. So go and check it out. I highly recommend it. Iron Man VR on PSVR. So that's that. You can let me know those thoughts, feelings, questions, comments, whatever, about Iron Man VR. Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK is contact page and information in your show notes. Thank you all very much for listening. You can find everything that we've got on entertainmenttalk.org. If you want to support the podcast and Entertainment Talk, we are on Patreon. You can have a look at the $1 and $3 level tiers. For instant podcast, ad-free podcast, and review options. Amazon affiliate link. If you're buying stuff on Amazon, we can get a small cut of what you spend, but it won't cost you extra. iTunes feed, you can have a look at those, rate, review, and subscribe to those as well. Just search for Entertainment Talk, and you should be able to find all the iTunes feeds as well. The main Entertainment Talk feed, and then the other ones as well. David's on iTunes through Geektown. If you search for Geektown on your favourite podcast platform, you should be able to find that. What's the other thing as well? Yeah, Geektown Radio's Tuesdays, the up-to-date reliable TV and film news, geektown.co.uk, Geektown Radio on Tuesdays as well. Bex is streaming currently daily on Twitch. You can go and check her out. That's Trista Bytes, Trista, B-Y-T-E-S. Go and follow her, subscribe to her for all that stuff. Word of mouth, you can tell people that you know about the website and iTunes feed, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Facebook groups, all that good stuff. And that's pretty much it. Thank you all very much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.